Hello, Miss Childs. For my AR project, I chose to read Twilight by Stephanie Meyer. The 6 activities I chose to do were the alternate cover, the book review, text symbolism, word wizard, and profiling the character. I also kind of made one up. I don't think it was on the rubric, but it may have been. I broke down the personalities of the main 2 characters. So I'm going to tell you the basic, or not really basic, I kind of said that wrong. The things I did more in depth than what it goes into on my trifold board, but I'm going to try to do it as quickly as possible because I know you don't have all the time in the world to listen to me. So, okay, so the first thing is my alternate cover. You can see the drawing I did, hand drew, on my trifold board. I chose to do a rose, so I chose a rose because I think it represents Edward Cullen and his beauty. Vampires in Twilight are supposed to be very beautiful and almost addictive to the eye. This combined with his charisma and mysterious habits drew Bella to him because he was just irresistible. He was always in her mind, but with the beauty also comes some form of harm. The thorns on the rose's stem being the form of harm. Edward pushes Bella away from him, not wanting to harm her. Bella doesn't pay any mind to the thorns and risks getting harmed just to have the rose in her possession. Rose being Edward because she wants to be with him. So the next thing I chose to do was text symbolism. I have 3 different symbols. You can see them on my trifold board, just like everything else. So my first symbol is Romeo and Juliet by William Shakespeare. Bella is reading this in one of her classes. She is sitting with Edward in the back. They're just talking, not really paying attention. So the teacher notices and he calls on Edward and asks him a question. But Edward knows how to read minds, so he just naturally answered the question, even though he really didn't know what was going on because he was not watching the play, because at this point they were watching it. They were done reading the play. But I think this is whenever Bella kind of started to become suspicious of him and his like mind reading abilities and him being a vampire. And then the next symbol I chose was just an MP3 player. At some point in the book, Bella gets extremely frustrated. She cannot stand it anymore. She just wants to get away from the world, and one of her friends gave her an MP3 player with some kind of rock band on it that she had never really heard of. So she went in her room and she just put it on. She put it on full blast. She just listened to it until she remembered all the words to all the songs, and she eventually just did that for so long she just fell asleep. And then the third one was vampire things. So this one is pretty self-explanatory. Edward is a vampire. Edward, I already said that. Edward's a vampire. Okay. Bella, whenever she figures it out and she realizes that she loves Edward, she actually wants to become a vampire herself. So I think that's why these 3 symbols represent Bella. The third thing I did was profiling a character. I chose the main character, and it also said to profile yourself while you're at it. My inspiration for these was a driver's license. You can see it's kind of set up with a picture in the corner, the name, the state, and the basic information like the height, the eye color, the hair color. But the other things I just decided to add just because. So for Isabella, Bella Swan, she lives in Washington State. She's 5'4", she's very short. She has brown eyes, brown hair, she's 17. She lives in Forks, Washington and goes to Forks High School in Forks. Her love interest is Edward. Her personality traits are shy, awkward, unconfident, insecure. She likes music. She really likes reading. She's unathletic and uncoordinated because in every gym class, she just stands in the corner and doesn't do anything. And then for me, you see my wonderful, amazing picture, very great. Virginia, that's where I live. My name, that's my name. I hope you know my name, you're my teacher. been in your class for months. I'm 6 feet tall, supposedly. I have brown eyes and brown hair just like Bella, so that's kind of what we have in common. But I'm 13 and live in Virginia, but I go to Livesey. I don't have a love interest because I'm 13 and I'm gonna be honest, none of the guys in 8th grade are very attractive. Personality traits. I'm kind of awkward, but I'm athletic and I'm tall. I like music. I play basketball and I love animals and science. So that is mine and Bella's profile. Okay, so the last thing I'm going to be explaining to you is the book review. I think the word wizard and the character breakdown are pretty self-explanatory, straightforward. I don't really think that you need me to explain more in depth, but my book review. Twilight is a fantasy novel by Stephanie Myers. The main character is Isabella Swan. Um, she moves and restarts her life. She moves from Arizona to Washington. Whole different environment. She soon makes friends and becomes close with them. Um, Actually, on her first day, she's already sitting with a big group of people at lunch. The main conflict in this book starts pretty early on. Bella is in love with someone she thinks she can never be with. This someone is none other than Edward Cullen, a charming, strong, handsome 17-year-old, supposedly. Bella believes Edward does not care for her, but she still falls deeper and deeper in love. Edward and his family have a secret that Bella quickly figures out, and the fact that Bella is not horrified of Edward after finding out his secret baffles him and his family. To overcome her love for Edward, Bella tries to avoid him. Just completely don't think about him, don't look at him, don't sit with him, nothing. Obviously that fails, but instead she is drawn more to him than ever before. She talks to Edward about her feelings and finds out he feels the same way. Shocking. Edward becomes upset at Bella because she believes she cares more for him than she. Wait, what? I think there's a typo in here. It's supposed okay, because she believes she cares more for him than she does for her. That's supposed to say than he does for her, but ignore that. Overall, this novel is structured well and has a strong narrative arc. The way it is written from Bella's point of view gives us as readers more insight on how strongly she feels for Edward, which is a lot. She always talks about him, she is always thinking about him. The detailed descriptions of how Edward reacts to things, the way his face moves, the way his body moves, his the way his body language is. One thing that also stands out in this novel is how the environment and weather affect the story. It takes place in a raining town in Washington state. And the fact that it's rarely sunny and always raining really affects the mood of the book in very massive ways. So that's my book review. That is everything that I'm going to be saying. So hope you enjoyed. Peace out.